Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast. We are coming to you from Minori, and we're pretty excited.
Where's Minori? What
Where's
country is that
where's
in?
Minori? Well, they should know we're in Italy. I posted about it.
I
I said
mean,
that
we
we were in
have
Italy.
like 100 followers, so there's gonna be people that come across us that don't know where we are, who we
Okay,
are.
well, if you don't know, Minori is a small town on the southern coast of Italy. We are near Amalfi,
The
and we
Amalfi Coast is what it's probably known
yeah,
by, as
it's like
many.
when you say you're from Chicago, but you're actually from Naperville. It's like that. I'm
This
just
is not even the neighborhood. This is like the Cary, Illinois
oof.
of.
But 10,000 times better than Cary, Illinois. You know,
Sorry, I
better
think
than
I.
anything in Illinois. But no, we're actually excited. We got to our Airbnb last night. We've been, this dude, Bob, you have been making us. Do you understand what happened in Rome? We did basically like 3 day trips in like 2 days.
And I'm proud of it. We concentrated. Look, I'm a marathon runner. I'm used to just powering through. I'm trying to instill that in my family. We gotta just
Oh, it's
move as
instilled.
long.
It's so instilled. The kids are still sleeping, and it's 10:30.
That's true. I've been up for 4 hours.
I know, but you're
I know.
you're
I'm,
you're
I'm a
you're
psychopath.
crazy.
No, it's been amazing. I mean, we did a lot in Rome. I feel like we did two vacations in one. So in Rome, to DeAnna's point, we did the Colosseum, Forum, St. Peter's Basilica. We went to Easter service there.
That was insane.
Ran into a lot of
Okay,
craze.
I'm gonna just go ahead and put this on the record. Might not want to say this too loud, but that culture of like, it was almost. You know what it felt like to me? It felt like there was more worship of the Pope
Yeah.
than like the actual God that everybody says they. I mean, y'all
No,
should have
I
seen
mean,
it.
yeah,
It was
it was a little
the
bit
I
weird.
had to like protect Rylan and Josh from getting like run over by complete strangers, and just because they wanted communion. And I'm
A
thinking to
glimpse.
myself,
They also
like,
wanted a glimpse of the Pope.
hey,
Eh,
look, I made sure we got a front row
I
seat.
was gonna say, says the lady that had her camera like stick way high up. Like,
Look, I'm not going to go to the Vatican, and let me just say this. You might have remembered, but like years ago, yeah, maybe not even that long ago, but I used to have this like running joke that I was gonna go to the Vatican and kidnap the Pope, and I shouldn't say that. It was a joke. I was dumb. I was young. Whatever. And
why
because
were you gonna do that?
it was
What's the joke? What's the punchline?
the joke is I'm just gonna go to Rome and steal the Pope.
It's not a joke.
Well, I was
That's a
getting offended.
threat.
I'm offending
That's a
a
threat.
Catholic here. No, but I used to just say that all the time. I'm like, yeah, whenever I go to Rome, I'm gonna go steal the Pope. Um, so for me, it was kind of like a funny moment because like I'm literally right there. There was absolutely no way I was gonna steal the Pope. But
You've been murdered.
oh
You've
yeah,
been murdered 10 times over by the
they
snipers
would
with
have
its
cut
roof.
every finger off one by one, and then the wrist, and then the elbow. Anyway, I didn't steal the Pope, but I definitely got to steal a photo.
Did the Pope steal your heart?
You know, he seems like a nice guy.
Or like he kind of had that little voice, you know? Like you were saying,
No,
I
well, they were concerned about
could
his
have been
health,
a contender.
and
Sorry.
you know, I don't
He was,
listen to a lot of his sermons. Um,
I don't think he did one. Did he?
no, he
Kind
didn't
of
do
missed
one,
it.
but I'm just saying like I didn't know that he talked like that, and but because everyone kept saying like, oh, his health was, you know, kind of shaky, it made sense. You know, I wasn't like, what the hell? I was more like, oh, okay, like he's older. Um, you know, he's out here doing his best. But no, I mean, it was an experience that I'm so thankful for, and like, would I do it again? Probably not. But I'm glad to say that I did it like that this one time for
Yeah,
Easter.
I would
Like
definitely
that's
go back to St. Peter's Basilica, but I think with that big crowd, it was a little bit intense. I prefer a more intimate service, to be honest. I
oh, it
actually,
got intimate. I bet somebody's hand was rubbing up against my butt at one point. I was like,
that was me.
see, oh, that was you.
I'm just kidding, it wasn't me. No, it was, oh, that was cool. I mean, my favorite thing about Rome, uh, there's a lot of cool things, but San Clemente was awesome. We went to this San Clemente Basilica, which is like a church built upon a church, built upon like Roman ruins, built upon just layers. And so you actually get to go down. It's an archaeological site, and you get to go down to like a 4th century basilica, so early Christian
Yeah.
church, and then
That was
below
amazing.
that you go to like 2,000 years ago, like time of Christ Rome buildings, and you saw like um, an ancient like I can't remember the name of the pagan religion or Roman religion, but it was
Um,
like
the god Mitra.
yeah, they all
There was
sat in
the
a
altar.
room and like worshipped God. I guess that's how people still do it. You know, they just do it in a different and many gods. They actually had. She was saying they had gods for like everything. They had a god for like getting your child's first step.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was a very like
Well,
practical religion.
if you take like the Christian aspect of it, like God in everything, it's just that they separated that it's like one God. It's more like
They were like
multiple.
everything is God's. No, no
Everything is
it,
God's.
it was
That's going to be the title of this episode. Everything is God's.
well, yeah. I mean, in Rome, but so that was amazing. We did a food tour. That was awesome
Oh,
too.
the food tour. We have to talk about the food tour because it was, how long was it? Like 4 hours?
Yeah, the kids were troopers.
They really were.
They
But
survived.
I was actually really proud of Josh. Josh doesn't eat a lot of different foods. You know, he's kind of a burger, steak, salmon type of guy.
Hot dog.
Hot dogs, pizza.
Pizza with pepperoni, not
salami.
just cheese.
Yeah, no, because apparently he doesn't like cheese
But he
unless
likes
it's on
pepperoni
pizza.
on yeah.
But anyway, the first stop was like a meat and cheese plate, and as they brought it out, I was like, oh, we're going to be in for some trouble if this is the kind of food. And to my surprise, he ate all of our salami.
Yeah, he loved
He even ate the thinly sliced
Yeah.
meat. He did not try the cheese, which fair. You know, I gave up my salami. I took his cheese. I think it was a fair trade.
The way my number 2s have been, I probably shouldn't have had as much cheese as I did. But that's another story. Keep going.
That's nasty, but accurate. There's a, you know what? Yeah. Anyway, the food tour was great.
The artichoke hearts.
Oh yeah,
The-
yeah.
the Jewish ghetto
We went
in
to the
Rome.
Jewish ghetto. Rylan was very confused by the use of the term ghetto.
I keep thinking of that Curtis Mayfield song in the ghetto, where it's every time we were in the Jewish ghetto. There's like, it's keep going.
Oh,
It's
this
funny.
guy.
It's in my head.
No, like she was confused. She kept asking me. She's like, "Why are they calling everything ghetto?" I'm like, "Well, the term actually comes from, you know, the places that they were put." Blah blah blah. Anyway, I didn't want to get into a big history lesson because we've done enough history
Yeah.
in the last few days. But we learned the way that the Jewish people eat their artichoke and
Yeah.
like how they fry it twice, once in, I think he said peanut oil. I didn't want to tell Josh that, but I'm pretty sure they fry it in peanut oil
100%.
first,
That's what they do.
and then
They double fry
They
it.
fry it again in olive oil.
I mean, it was delicious.
Because apparently Josh doesn't eat peanuts, and I was like, oh, should I tell him or?
It was delicious. I loved it. I mean, the flavors were just. It tasted like fried Brussels sprouts. If anybody's had those. Yeah.
Or it tasted like potato chips.
True.
Like
Yeah.
when my first bite, I was like, yo, these taste like Lay's. And you know, until you taste the artichoke, then you're like, it's definitely an artichoke. Which the funny thing is, both kids preferred the fleshiness of the unfried artichoke heart when you got to the center. So I was like, look at you guys eating vegetables
cool.
and stuff.
So that food tour was great. Oh my gosh, Rome was just.
Well, the Colosseum, we got to talk about that because
Oh yeah.
you know, it was a thing that I've been wanting to do since I was probably 7 years old, to be honest with you.
I didn't really know that until you told me that this week.
There was a point in my life, and actually, even now, like, I love ancient history, and I specifically loved learning about Roman history when I was in school. Like elementary, grade school, middle school, I mean, throughout high school. Like, I was, at one point, super obsessed with, like, Roman history.
What do you think it was about Roman history?
Well, I also grew up very, very, very Christian and a very, I mean, I know that sounds like, oh, I left my religion. No, I didn't. But I grew up in a
I'm
very
more spiritual, less religious these days.
more like in
I'm
tune
more
with
yoga.
the
I'm more
universe.
yoga meditative.
Um,
Sorry, it's not funny, but
no, but
you do actually go to yoga every
I
weekend.
do. I
I do
know.
have a choke
I was gonna
meditation.
do yoga last night at like
They're kind of
11:30,
fitting
and I
in
was
the.
like, nope.
But keep
Anyway,
going back to the Romans.
so yeah, I grew up in the church, so learning about the history of Jesus and the Romans, I think all of that combined, I was like, they were out here murdering people on crosses while also building some of the greatest archaeological or like architectural achievements in man. Like it was so barbaric and like
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
insanely civilized at the same
That's
time.
really good way of
And
putting it.
so I was always fascinated with like, how are y'all out here doing some of these things, but then also building things that have lasted for thousands of years. So I
Yeah.
was really obsessed, and the idea of the Colosseum. Like, I'll be honest. Have you seen The Gladiator?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it took me years to actually watch the Gladiator film because even though I was obsessed with it,
Are you not entertained?
the movie was probably somewhat accurate from what I understand, but I actually can't stomach a lot of the gory parts of history.
The gladiators could because they had the fat stomachs.
They were supposed to be like chubby. But anyway, so I I did have a moment there where I was I didn't like cry or get emotional, but it was when you it's like people when they go to Disneyland. I don't know if this is a good analogy. 'Cause Disney, Coliseum, not quite the same. But anyway, some people's lifelong dream is to go to Disney. And they get there and it's like this magical moment. I feel like I had a super magical moment at the Coliseum.
A whole new world. Um, I, I, I did not have that, but
No?
here's the thing.
Did you like it though?
Oh, I loved it. Here's the thing with the ancient Romans. I never really. I feel like I kind of compartmentalized all this stuff. Like, oh, there's Jewish here in the Middle East, or not Jewish. Jesus.
Well,
Jesus was
he was
Jewish.
just
But Jesus, Jewish in the Middle East, right? In the time, and so also being a Christian, like I don't think I put these like in separate little compartments. Right, the Romans who did this thing, and then, but I think what really connecting the dots for me in this trip was really fascinating. I'm like, oh, this was like the people that like decided it because we were here for Easter, and we got here on Good Friday, which was just kind of coincidental, and I was like, the people that like put him to death, like the emperor, like from my understanding, it wasn't like Herod, like they were all and Pontius Pilate, they were part of like the Roman Empire, right? Like
yeah.
I didn't even like think of that. Oh, duh.
But see that's the
It's
part
like,
that I loved. I was like,
Yeah.
that was the crazy part about Roman history.
Yeah.
Is that the stuff that we're reading about? Because I feel like when you think about like biblical things, it's like
feels like way out
old.
abstract.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And then you're like, that again. That's that juxtaposition of like completely, and maybe barbaric isn't the correct term, but I guess uncivilized versus civilized.
I actually okay. I would sort of say not that. I would say they just had their worldview was so black or white. Like you did something bad, we will kill you. I'm not. I mean, I'm just saying like that. So to them, that was being civilized. Like you should not be in our society anymore. Get out of
No.
here. So I'm not saying it's a good thing. Believe me. But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't say it's so simple as civilized versus uncivilized. In their civilization, that was being civilized.
Yeah.
Is to say, you were a sworn virgin and you had sex, we're gonna kill you. Like there was like 20 virgins that got murdered. The way they got murdered was they like got buried in the ground, right? And then like, just like gave them a little bit of food and then just put the lid on and said good night forever. Very interesting. But for them that was like you had a allegiance.
The good news is, Saint Clemente's
This is like
basilica, I didn't feel haunted. I didn't feel like it was that haunted. Did you?
I mean, no, but I'm
Yeah, you
sure
think
there's
about
some
how many-
there's
about how
some
many-
secrets buried underneath.
Unreleased souls. Like there was this one room. It was like completely dark, and I really wanted to flash my light down there because we like bypassed it. And I asked the tour guide, "Why are you yawning? We're filming." See,
What am I supposed to do?
You're supposed to put it back in.
Sorry, I wasn't a production assistant at Windy Live. Okay. I was a multimedia journalist sitting behind the table at Chicago tonight.
You never had to be on camera? No, but like we walked by this, we were underground, super fascinating, but
Now I'm constantly
we,
on now.
you're gonna keep yawning. But no, there was a room that we walked by and it was like half-assedly barricaded and I was like, what's down there? And she's like, oh, we can't go down there. It's not safe. And I'm like, is any of this safe? We're like a few hundred feet. I don't even know how far down we were. But
Probably
we were like
25 feet, but that's fine if you want to say a few hundred.
Okay, the ceilings in the place we're staying are probably about 18 feet ceilings. I looked up in the shower today. I was like, how far does the ceiling go? So we were definitely
Don't
more
trust
than
DeAnna's
25.
math. Keep going.
You know what?
Keep going.
Point I'm trying to make is that we were not allowed to go into the dark room because it was, quote, unsafe.
The dark dungeon.
And I mean, when I say the thing was pitch black, I was like this close to pulling out my light and just like shining it down there because I'm like, that's where the demons are.
Maybe some of the virgins were buried in that room.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, they weren't virgins at that point. They were
Well,
buried
they
there.
probably were virgins. They probably just like hiked the skirt up a little bit. If somebody said you whore, and then, you know.
Yeah. This was a symbol in the ancient Colosseum. So if you wanted to kill the gladiator, you say,
Yeah.
oh.
But if you want to save his life, you did like this, and you hide the knife and you close your palm. Did you catch that part? He was like, well, I guess let me show you guys like this. You hide your knife. We don't want to kill him. Save him.
And then,
Oh, gosh. There's such a fascinating culture, but
yeah.
generally, what's your take on, like, because we just got here yesterday. Speaking of yesterday, what a journey it took to get here.
I don't want to rehash it.
Why?
It was long. So it was long. I mean, we probably spent 2 hours on a train, 3 hours combined on boats, 2 hours in cars. That's it.
But it was worth it. We walked through the door,
And that's it.
and that's it. No, we walked through the door, and I was like, all right, okay, all right. It was worth it. I mean, the route here, I know everyone's like, well, you know, getting up to going down the coast is weeby wobbly.
It was kind of
and-
crazy.
Okay, I wasn't bothered by that at all. I thought it was,
It was
in my
beautiful. It was
life,
epic.
on my life, maybe yours, the most beautiful drive I've ever been on. I mean,
Yeah.
every
I-
corner,
fair,
every
fair.
turn, I was like, how does it get more beautiful?
The closest I would say, if you've never been to Italy, but you've been to like San Francisco, I would say some of those scenic winding drives. But this is a different kind of feel for sure. But that was the only thing I can compare it to in my mind.
Well, yeah, the
is
coast of
the coast
California.
of California. But I still think I prefer this coast. This has got more history than the coast of California by far. This is our first day, so we can't give too much hot takes. I mean, maybe we can do another episode before the end of the week. That'd be fun. Although this is going to be posted after we get back, but still, maybe you can relive our vacation with us. I'd love to do another, because we're going to do some more food. We're going to do maybe a little bit more, not travel, but we're going to do a little more, by travel, it's going to be like a 30-minute ferry ride, not like a 5-hour ferry ride anymore, you know?
Yeah. No comment on that.
It'd be fun to have the kids on, too. We're sort of,
Yeah.
a lot of motorcycles.
I do think the kids are still sleeping, so we
Motorcycles,
kind of have to get the day started because if you can kind of see behind us, we
Filling up.
are quite literally on the water.
Not figuratively.
Literally.
We're not literally on the water.
We
we're
are.
literally
I could throw
within
this. I could
steps of the
throw.
water.
I could throw this
Okay.
into the
I'm
water.
just gonna tell you.
If I was
Literally,
King Griffey Jr.
we're standing, and you couldn't even literally stand in the water. We would be literally in the water.
I'm gonna literally smack you inside your face.
I would literally like to see that. All right, yeah, this is what DeAnna wants to do to me.
Off
Cut
with
it.
his
Cut his
head.
microphone
Oh.
that he doesn't have on.
Off at this head. But no, we're excited. I'm tired. Oh, also,
Not at all.
in case you're wondering, I'm not wearing my sunglasses to be cool, unlike Bob. He's cool. I'm not wearing these to be cool. I, of course, woke up and
She
Scratched my eye.
What did I tell you before we went on this trip? This is one of the first times I can tell you, what did I tell you?
What'd I say?
What
Yeah,
did I say?
Bob is right. He did tell me to wear my.
Sorry. Rewind it. Rewind it.
I'm not saying it again.
What she said was Bob was right. I want that for the record. And that's it. I'm done.
That's all I can say. He was. I can't even say it again. He. I can't say it again. It won't. My throat won't let
Say
me.
for me?
All right, guys. Until next time, we got to get the day started. Like, you brought home like 2 little bites of food.
I knew she was gonna say that.
Because you always.
I don't wanna hear
You
it.
don't. Look, I eat like a hog. Okay.
Sorry? I can't hear. I can't. There's too much traffic out there.
You know what?
You scratched your cornea. I scratched my ears. I can't hear.